Okay, then, as we said, very, very shortly the process will continue. And we can now cross over to our senior political correspondent, Ayodele Ozubako, in Yola for an update. Good morning to you, Ayo.
Yes, this is Yola Sanwo-Ibeata in Yola State, ADAMAWA State, northeast Nigeria, and this is the government reserve area and Assistant Commissioner's quarters here. Minutes to the time of the we don't have the ad hoc officers on site. We have prospective voters just seated around this and seen any members of the ad hoc staff of the Independent Electoral Commission here to set up. And if the exercise is meant to start at 8 a.m. this is just a verdict that it's not possible for them to set up in 29 minutes, and voting might not start in this particular unit by 8 a.m. So that's the situation right here. But before making our way here, it's around 6 a.m., the old town has been cordoned off, and the restriction of movement given by the Inspector General of Police was effected everywhere across the 21 local governments in ADAMAWA State here. And we also noticed that the Commissioner of Police here in ADAMAWA State read out the riot acts that state paramilitary organizations are not recognized in this election, that they are not meant to participate in this election. It's only the military, the police force, and those paramilitary forces duly accredited by the Independent National Electoral Commission are just the only security outfits accredited by INEC, and those are the ones that are allowed to actually participate in this exercise. They have a tag like all journalists, like we have now. So any security officer you see will have been duly accredited from the headquarters of the Independent National Electoral Commission. It's a National Assembly and presidential election, so we expect that the ad hoc committee people, when they come here, they will be coming with 3 ballot papers, 1 for the presidential election, 1 for the Senate, and 1 for the House of Representatives. That's 1 for the senatorial districts, 1 for the House of Representatives, and 1 for the presidential election. So people are waiting. So it's going to be an open secret ballot system. By the time they set everything up, they're expected to just cast your vote, and after the BVAS machine would have accredited you with your permanent voter's card, not temporary voter's card. So anything outside the permanent voter's card will not be accepted here. And we're also informed by the Independent National Electoral Commission that it's only the BVAS machine that will be deployed as a way of identification, accreditation, and to vote. So if your name is not spotted in the BVAS machine through the permanent voter's card, through your own permanent voter's card, you will not be allowed to vote. So we've gone past the era of the incident forms, gone past the area of bypassing the BVAS machine to vote. So it is essential that everybody here will have to go through the BVAS machine and will be allowed to vote after going through the process of accreditation. And as I told you earlier, we're still waiting at the commissioner quarters here in GRA. People are coming in one by one, but we've not spotted any official of the Independent National Electoral Commission on site here.
Okay. Ayo there. As you say, we're waiting on INEC to show. They haven't shown up yet, but we've been assured that INEC is ready. Security-wise, even if INEC hasn't shown, I also can't see any security, even though it's not exactly a long shot you're on. But security is no less, I would not say tight, but appropriate for the situation, right, Ayo? Arrangements for security in Yola and other areas.
Because of the electoral officers that are not around, but you can see security, journalists, everybody, they are loitering around, waiting for the electoral officers to actually come to set up. So I think after the setup, we can actually know the number of those security guys that will be manning this particular polling unit.
Okay, I get you now. So as soon as we have anything else to report from there, we'll be back to you, Ayo. Thank you very much for that situation report. I'm sure we're going to be hearing a lot more of you today. Thank you, our man, Ayodele Ozubako, Senior Political Correspondent in Yola there. Well, I hope we keep time because time is everything. And even though it's looking a bit dry now, deserted for now, but that could change in half an hour.
Well, we'll change quickly, yes.
That would change
all
very,
of a sudden,
very quickly.
People will arrive, and hopefully INEC will arrive before them, but whichever way, people will troop out. Chances are some people are waiting to get the news that INEC have arrived before they troop out.
That's another thing. That's another thing.
INEC needs to be there on time, and they need to set up. But it is important they start on time because it sends a message of preparedness and commitment. So
I was, going over the process again with us there that Beavers machines will be deployed.
Yes.
And this is all about authentication. And this goes back to horrors of the past where all sorts of people were presenting themselves and the system couldn't sort of
recognize them.
It couldn't sift the wheat from the chaff.
Yes.
And everybody was going. But now those are days long gone.
Gone. As it should be. But I think INEC has insisted that the process they will follow is what they've announced and that they will not make concession for manual or dodgy kind of process. So I think that's a good thing and we should embrace and expect the best from it. INEC seems committed, so let's hope that facts support and validate their position.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I also have one of our other correspondents, Mayowa Okwato, is also standing by, this time in BENUE State, for more updates. Mayowa. Okay.
Welcome to BENUE. Here in BENUE, it's less than an hour to the election time. Where we have in BENUE, where we have 2,777,000. More than 2,777,000 voters in BENUE with 93.9% registered voters who have actually collected their PVC. Here behind me is Makadi, state capital of BENUE State, where ad hoc staff, youth corporate security agencies of council behind me are here gathered up to collect their sensitive and non-sensitive materials where they will use across the state capital here in Makadi. It's less than an hour, and well, most have spoken to youth corpers where we have over 2,000 youth corpers spread across the state, and then over 8,000 security personnel also spread across the state. Now, here behind me, they've collected their materials. It's for them to be deployed across the state capital here in Makadi, and we believe everything is looking smooth, peaceful. As you can see, the security agency behind me are looking ready for actions and ready for the elections. So I can see, well, people are actually ready. On my way here, we see people preparing themselves, going their normal activities, though the road wasn't busy. But I believe it will be a very successful day at the end.
As you were just saying, we're expecting them. Has INEC shown there in your location? Has INEC shown up yet, or we're waiting for INEC?
No, INEC have showed up. They are around. They are set up.
They've set up.
Yes, they're set up.
All right then.
Well, actually, they have addressed and they feel so ready because they've trained and retrained their ad hoc staffs, and they believe everything is set and ready to kickstart once the time is in.
That's fine. That's fine. That's good to know. Well, thank you very much, Mayowa. We'll be back as soon as there's more to report. And you see, it's all about keeping to the rules. That's something that we haven't been very good on before. By the way, over here, in BENUE State, they're a bit more ready than when we spoke with Ayo, his location in Yola. So there will be, but everybody is leading up to 8 o'clock, I believe. That's where they want to. If we can start at 8 o'clock.
You make it sound as if you want to make Ayodele guilty.
It's not him.
Of the state not being ready.
It's not Ayodele. We report to the ground. We report, as we said, they're on ground.
They're on ground.
What the situation is. You know,
maybe we should give a prize to the correspondent with the state that is most ready.
We just will touch on all those bases and see what's going on. And in fact, maybe very shortly we'll be able to see, because we're towards 8 o'clock now, we'll be able to see those that indeed are ready by that time. But I was saying it's all about staying with the rules. You cannot vote if you
do not have your PVC.
Yes. And BVAS will have to authenticate. And the beautiful thing that has happened this time is that don't even bother to rig, because if you should go there, if you should rig, then, you know, there's the danger that votes will be cancelled. Once we have more votes than actually have been registered, there will be a problem. Okay, let's cross over to Kaduna State now. Let's understand what's going on in Kaduna State, where our correspondent, Sarah Ayeko, has more details. It looks very calm and peaceful where you are at. So give us a situation report, please.
Okay, so we're in Kaduna. Of course, in Kaduna, northwest Nigeria, we're expecting to see about 4.1 million voters add their voice to the 87 expected votes that we're going to see today as we elect the next president of Nigeria. But let me tell you specifically where I'm at. This is, I'm in Kaduna North, Ungwan Serki to be specific, and in this school we're expected to see 2 polling units. But what we see right now is that we've not seen any INEC official, we've only been seeing the voters come in and out just to check if the INEC officials are here to set up the polling booths and of course the other materials that they need to set up. So we also understand that in some other places that our correspondents are, and we've been getting information about if INEC officials are there already or if they're on their way. We've not seen any INEC official. Here we saw an NSCDC vehicle as a patrol team come in, and then they've gone out already. So security agencies, we're not seeing them around here. We're not seeing INEC officials around. The voters keep coming in and going out. We understand that across the state, across the 3 senatorial districts, we're going to be having like 255 registration areas. Now, in these 255 registration areas, we're going to be seeing about 8,012 polling units. And you know that Kaduna State is very central to this election because you know that it has the 3rd highest vote, highest PVCs are collected in when you look at Lagos and you look at Kano. Kaduna is the 3rd. Kano has about 5 million vote PVCs that have been collected. Kaduna is the 3rd, which is very strategic to this election. As you know that the North has always been pretty strategic to swinging the votes in favor of a particular candidate. And so what we're expected to see is voters come out in their numbers, because when we talked to them yesterday, where we went to the market to talk to them yesterday, they told us about how enthusiastic, you know, they are to cast their ballot. And of course, we're going to see a lot of people come out to vote. In some polling units, we saw some voters, of course, already scattered around, just waiting patiently for the INEC officials to get there.
Well, again, as you say, people have been coming in and going out. I'm in studio here with Professor Anthony Killer, and he was saying that the thing is probably that people want to see if INEC has arrived yet, and that's what you've just confirmed there. People sort of, you know, peep. Are they there yet? Okay, they're not ready yet. I can catch them. You do a little, maybe a tea or coffee or whatever. But what's your sense of the enthusiasm? Since you were there yesterday, people coming out, they will be out in their numbers. What sense did you get when you were speaking with people yesterday?
You know, let's talk about the security situation. You know, Kaduna is one place that a lot of persons might have envisaged as some sort of insecurity, because, you know, of course, the bandits on one side, and in some places like Beningwari, Igabi. So, of course, there are flashpoints in Kaduna, and some persons had raised questions about if it would be safe to come out to vote. But the police have assured that they've deployed about 16,000 security operatives for this election, which is one of the highest figure you will get in Nigeria when you talk of police deployment. 16,000 security operatives scattered across the state. And INEC has said that election will hold in all the 8,012 polling units. So they've given the assurance that it will definitely be safe. So people, of course, are enthusiastic. Like you know, this particular election is like we've not had any election, you know, in Nigeria. This one is a different one from elections that we've had before. As to if you look at the record numbers of PVCs collected in Lagos and some other parts of the country, you would see that people are enthusiastic. Here in Kaduna, 96% is the PVC, because 96% of persons that registered with INEC collected their PVCs. So people are enthusiastic. They went to the market yesterday to make their last minute shopping, and they of course want to vote. Some of them are with their PVCs, displaying their PVCs when we spoke with them at the market, and although some persons raised concerns about security, but most people are saying that whether there's security or no security, whether there's cash crunch or no cash crunch, they would definitely go out and vote. As you know, here in Kaduna State, we saw some persons in the market flaunting the old 1,500 naira notes, of course, saying that you could just come and buy even with your old 1,500 naira notes. So people went to the market to buy stuff, you know, but some persons, of course, that didn't have the cash, went ahead, of course, using their POS to pay for as little as vegetables. So people are enthusiastic. They are ready to come out and vote. So we will definitely see some persons coming and out of the various polling units, but of course, they are waiting for the time the INEC officials will arrive at the various polling units here in Kaduna North.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Sarah. I'm sure we'll be back with you in Kaduna as the program progresses. Thank you very much. That's Sarah Ayeku, and she was reporting from us from Ungwan Seriki there in Kaduna State. Okay. People are taking their time. I don't know. I would have. Why isn't INEC there? I mean, I'm not berating them, but INEC should have been up and doing, and well, they have been up and doing.
I think you're excited about this thing.
Really.
I can feel it. You're really
because as you said, the day has come.
Yeah,
the day has come. We didn't know this day. Well, we knew it was going to come, but somehow it's upon us.
And I don't know about viewers, but your excitement is contagious, because now you're making me feel palpitated as well.
We have to be upbeat about it, because the people have let us know that. Look at one man saying, I think it was an INEC official, that there will be elections here. Yes. And Sarah was just telling us that INEC has said that in all the 8,012, all the 8,012, polling stations, that there will be votes. Now let's share some pictures that our team captured of reporters from various locations. This is as we just prepare for the commencement of voting, which I think is going to be about 8 o'clock. Let's see those pictures.
Are you going to vote?
Okay, the Decision 2023 studios live now has been so from 6 a.m. and will continue round the clock and as long as is necessary. Now let's cross over to Maiduguri in Borno State to meet up with our correspondent there, Tijesu Adeoye, to give us, a situation report. Good morning to you, Tijesu.
Good morning, Mr. Yori.
Please, so where are we? How prepared are we, do you think, over where you are at there in Maiduguri?
Well, currently, if you permit me to say, the people of Borno State are actually they have been looking forward to this election. Right from yesterday that we got in, we could see the whole town alive, looking forward to the election. Everybody is just, hoping for the best, and you could see that they are all wanting the best out of this election. You could see even this morning, a lot of them are already out and about, going to locate their polling unit right here. I'm currently at the Lamisula ward. That's the Lamisula Secondary School. This is a ward where 70 polling units are registered under this ward. And if you can see behind me already, sorting has started to distribute all the voting materials to the polling units. As you can see as well, the police officers are already on ground. We understand that 13,000 police officers were deployed to Borno State just to ensure law and order is preserved in this place and to ensure that the process goes on smoothly without any disruptions. So we can say that Borno is actually looking forward to this election, and everything is peaceful and calm as it stands right now. The voting is yet to start. We expect that the process will start by 8:30 according to INEC schedule. And as you can see, the activity is already starting because from here, the INEC officials will move down to their polling units to begin the process. But right now, they are sorting and distributing the election materials to the polling unit officials.
I've got to interrupt you for a moment, please. I've got to interrupt you because we've got to go off on a commercial break, but we'll be back as soon as possible. Stay with us, please.